All right, so we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. And we have our guests. We rescheduled and we actually did it this time because we had so many technical issues and difficulties, but we got it. So I'm here with our guest today, our Raw Talk with Darrell R. McQuarter. And if you are new to the platform, if you're new to this community and this family, I am Shamika. If you're watching live, welcome. If you're going to catch the replay, welcome. All right. But I'll give you guys a quick introduction on me and who I am. My name is Shamika Jones. I am the CEO and founder of Eat Life to Live Life, which is a nutritional and wellness company. I'm also a nutrition secondary ed, as well as a financial educator in the area of life insurance and investments, and soon to be author in 2021. And I have the I have the esteemed honor of introducing this gentleman who I have on with me, and I'm so excited to do so. I think I read his bio the last time, but now that we are live, I get to do it in living color. Okay. So this is Darrell R. McQuarter. He is a 30-year honorable veteran of the armed forces, decorated twice for heroism during service, cognitive therapist, master trainer, and life coach, who's also owner and operator of Dsweatbox and president of a non-for-profit organization called Mental Fitness and Physical Wellness. Darrell was formerly educated at the University of Maryland, Asian Division in Japan, Campbell University in North Carolina, and lastly, Adler School of Professional Psychology in Chicago. He's worked as Director of HIV DAT for all 72 military entrance programs, Associate Director of Upward Bound Programs, School Psychologist at Urban Prep Academy, Senior Public Service Administrator of a mental health facility. Darrell in his off time can be found on the beautiful lakefront of Chicago jogging. Yes, because you love to jog. Okay. And I want to tell you, if I knew that my friend over here, because this is my friend over here, had all that wealth in his background, shoot, I would have asked for more stuff. What else you got? Okay.
I got whatever you need.
I know that's right. So just having said all that, right? We got your bio, but just tell us a little bit about who you are and why fitness is so important to you, in your particular niche.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for extending your platform, Shanika.
You're welcome.
Your accomplishments with health and wellness have been just miraculous. You saw how important the need was, and you met the need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a journey. So I want to applaud you and commend you for that. And then I love the idea and the fact that you just didn't take that success and bury it. You're spreading the talent. So you received it, you learned from it, and you have a lot of valuable information that you can share, not just with our current audience, but with people like me as well. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for giving me a platform to share with you and speak about wellness and how we're to combat it during COVID. A little bit about me. I'm a guy out of the Robert Taylor Projects initially. Went to Harper High School, graduated early. And as you read the bio, in the bio, I went ahead and joined the United States Marine Corps and did my service there. While in service, got educated, was an adjunct professor of psychology overseas in Cuba and in Japan. And health and wellness has always been my thing for numerous reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of times we may not earn the type of money we want to earn.
Yeah.
We may not live where we want to live, but we can have a whole lot of power over how healthy and well we are. When I say healthy and well, a lot of people misconstrue our organization as a fitness organization. We're not. We're a mental fitness and a physical wellness organization because we encompass 5 pillars of wellness: financial, emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. So that's our organization in a nutshell. And that's what we do. And that's what I'm proud to do. I stay within my area of competency with it. It's not anything I do alone. So when I use we, us, and our, we have a fleet of professionals that are affiliates that work with us so that we all stay within our area of competency, and that the advice and insight that we're extending to others has a concrete evidence-based dynamic behind it. And we're always in a position of learning as well. Absolutely. So that's a little bit about me and what we do. And again, I just want to thank you for bringing this topic to the forefront. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fabulous job, Shanika.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I just want to highlight and go a little bit deeper on that mental fitness, physical wellness piece, because I don't know if it's been maybe 7 years now. Have we known each other?
7 years.
Oh my God. So a friend who invited me to this boot camp, you know, I wasn't necessarily ready for it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna be on another fitness journey. Let me give it a try. And so we go there and I'm like, okay, a boot camp, is he gonna be extra? Which in my mind, yes, you were, you know, all the time. And so, so I went, and it wasn't too like it. Of course, I don't even recall what physical state. I know that I wasn't in the best shape or health, obviously, you know, at that time. But exercising wasn't really a part of my life. It just wasn't. And when I went there, I just felt like you knew where I was physically. And even though I couldn't do some of the things that, you know, other people could do, sorry, you allowed me to do what I could do, to help me feel successful, I think. Because I'm kind of that person who I didn't like to work out in front of other people. I don't like to be vulnerable because I don't really know how to move my body like that. I'm a bigger woman and I'm weighted. And I just felt like there was a place for me. And so I just kind of like you to speak to how you tailor that, because you do it so well, you know, I think. How do you tailor your environment to help all people from all walks of life with all different states of health come in to be able to perform where they are?
Well, I think I've had a lot of practice in this. I think when you're working in the military, boot camps on a continual basis, you're teaching group dynamics. You're getting people from other regions of the globe. You're getting people who are of all types of ethnicities, who speak different languages. But there is one common thread that joins us all, and that's the human factor. Nurturing, treating others as human beings, acknowledging that we all have a struggle, even though our struggles may not be the same. We all have struggles. Yeah. If we create a community, that personifies acceptance and understanding and compassion, which is what you have for others, not your passion, because everyone comes in that community passionate about something. But those who stay within that community and breed that community into a place of success are those who have compassion. Okay, that's how passionate you are about someone else's belief systems and someone else's their desires and goals. And so when you came to our organization, right shortly after the conception of it, you were a very, very passionate woman, as you are today. And so that passion still exudes and just illuminates and reeks through your pores, where you want to not only be of value to your family, you not only want to be of value to the community, but Shamika wants to be of value to the world. And so when people come into that community, we prayed before every boot camp session. Remember? Right out there on the field at 4 5 a.m.
Yeah. Jesus.
Look, if you're getting up at 4:30,
listen,
you're passionate about something.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that's right.
And so from the onset, from how the boot camp was structured,
Mm-hmm.
you either had to be passionate about it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got there, I had to be that wall of resistance for all the negative things that was, just constantly repeating itself
Mm-hmm.
in your mental processes. Like, I can't do this. Oh, it's going to be a struggle. Oh, I feel like quitting. Well, I had to be that guy, that person that would say, you're not quitting. It's supposed to be a struggle.
Right.
It's supposed to be a struggle. Even if you were in the best of shape, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial shape, growth is only going to come out of that struggle. As soon as you become comfortable, it's a done deal. And the only time you rest comfortably is when you're 6 feet under.
I thank you for that. That is so true. And I think, from the beginning of time with that method and that technique and just your way of pushing people through workouts and understanding that the discomfort was the indication that you were actually doing something good for yourself, to feel discomfort on your behalf was a good thing. And I guess maybe in my mind at that time, 7 years ago, I really was just like, what is he talking about? Like, okay, that's fine. That's great. But I get it today because of how my life has evolved, even with business and understanding, passion is not necessarily something which I've come to understand. If you actually look up the word passion, there's a suffering in that, right? In that definition, right? You still love to do something because that's the thing that wakes you up and gives you purpose and meaning. But there's hard work, there's a struggle behind it to, come to its full glory, if you will, or manifestation in your life. So I definitely am grateful for that and our experience together. And so I wanted to kind of talk about the different pillars that you mentioned with your organization, the 5 pillars, and how you integrate that into your community. I know that you are a clinical psychologist. How do you integrate that? What does that look like? When I come here for just wanting to work out, what does that service look like? Mental fitness. And I know that I could tell stories about even some of our sessions and what they turned into, in which I never moved a muscle. You know what I'm saying? So talk a little bit about that with us.
Sure. Each client comes with a very unique set of issues. Can you hold on once? I'm so
Okay. Yeah. This is what it looks like when you have kids in the house, and this is real life. And that's why this is called the raw talk, okay? Because he had to get boot campish in the house. So I know he laid down the law, but go ahead.
I apologize for that.
Go ahead.
There's nothing more important than PS4.
Okay. Come on, sir.
So I apologize for that. But again, everyone comes with a different set of dynamics. Everyone comes with a paradigm of issues. And so as a clinical person, I'm listening to what you say, and I believe everything you say.
Okay.
That's the first thing I do.
Okay.
I doubt not one word that comes out of your mouth when I ask you, why are you here? Why? Now, sometimes it's incredibly superficial. The majority of the time it's incredibly superficial. But what will happen is as we progress through the challenging your physical person, some things are going to be released out of your mouth. That will open up another door of understanding to who you are and why you really arrived here and why you really came. Okay. And so what I do is I have the ability, thank God, I've developed the ability to listen, to register, to store, and then to integrate. All right. I have to listen, I have to register it, and then I have to find a way to integrate from a solution-based place what would work well for the group. Now, what I do for the group is totally different than what I would do for an individual personal training session. Like you spoke upon, said, hey, sometimes I show up for PT and we did not one physical activity, but it would be so cleansing and so just conscious. It sort of awakens my conscious. Mm-hmm. And that's because 80% of our success has nothing to do with physicality when it comes to maintaining wellness, especially if you're a woman. Okay. Women don't gain weight to be physical. They don't gain weight for sport. Right. So if a woman's gaining weight, there is an internal mental or emotional issue. All right. Mm-hmm. 97% of my clients happen to be women.
Yeah.
And so that was something I had to early on adjust and adapt, because I came out of a hyper masculine environment working in the United States Marine Corps, where 97% of my clients were men. So here we are. I had to switch and learn that the things that are applicable for men are not necessarily applicable for women when it comes to establishing a foundation of wellness and health. Okay. So that's how you do it. You listen, you register, and then you learn how to integrate. But again, that's a very unique skill set. And I'm not trying to be or sound narcissistic or arrogant about it, but everyone has a talent. For those areas where I would run into issues or walls, that's where I hired a clinical nurse. That's when I hired a nutritionist. That's when I hired a nurse practitioner. That's when I hired a midwife. Yeah. Because the overall proponent and character that makes this work is humility. You don't have to know everything as a leader, but you do have to understand when you don't know something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it wasn't just me alone. It was a team. It was a fleet of paraprofessionals and professionals here and Dsweatbox that helped to take the organization to the clients. So the clients may have met us at the field, but after you met us halfway, we came all into your home. We were into your family. We prayed together. Our resources were integrated.
Yeah.
It's just been a blessing, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Awesome. So what do you say to a person? Well, let me just back up a little bit, because I want to kind of address how your approach is tied to really what our topic is today, right? How, winning the battle against COVID-19. Because yesterday, the conversation was about transcendental meditation. We talked about some interesting statistics in regard to mental health, and how that's really affected a lot of people during this pandemic. And knowing that your organization addresses part of that, and you're not just about the physical aspect of it, but also the mental fitness aspect as well. I kind of want to go there first in terms of how does someone, working with you, how are you winning or helping people win the battle against COVID-19?
Well, COVID helped to amplify a need for mental fitness and physical wellness first. Okay. There's something in Adlerian psychology called the Psychologist theory.
Okay.
Where it takes the perfect place, the perfect time, and the perfect person to create a magical moment. For example, Hitler would not be successful today.
Okay. Right.
It's not his time. He's not the person, and it's damn sure isn't the place. He would not be successful there. Right. So I think you just put in the work. You follow your passion, you stay based in community and the welfare of others, and that moment will come. Well, that moment came for Dsweatbox. That moment came for mental fitness and physical wellness, because there were plenty of people that spoke upon mental fitness, but it was ambiguous. Even when it came out of their mouth, they didn't really know what they were talking about. Mental fitness, first of all, let's get a definition so that we can all build from that place.
Yeah.
Ambiguous. Mental fitness is the ability to cognitively negotiate 3 major life tasks so that it does not predispose you to precipitators of weight gain or amplify blood-related issues.
Okay.
Okay, let's go there. I try to keep it really simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you, everyone knows what physical fitness is. It's the ability to move your body in a fashion as to maybe burn calories, burn fat, do this or do that, so that it combats the potential of you not being able to move as freely and with liberty, or with a lack of liberty. Well, mental fitness is exercising your cognitive processes for that. Understanding that struggles are okay in order to have them. Understanding that what you desire is achievable, or God would not have put it on your mind. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, whatever deity you serve, it is a deity that is intentional and purposeful. Okay?
Yeah.
It did not, and as great as we are as human beings, we don't put all these things on our mind. I know, I believe that. So the things that are put on your mind, if they're put on your mind, they're achievable. If they're tangible, you can grab them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the elements that we worked with. Okay. Weight loss is not the real issue.
Okay.
That's a byproduct of what you're really dealing with. Weight is a byproduct of what you're actually dealing with. And right. COVID amplified that.
Okay.
Because now people are stuck in the house together. They can't work overtime. They can't work additional days.
No.
If you're not in a healthy relationship, oh boy, you're about to feel it right now. Relationship with your children, you're about to feel it right now. True. If you're not invested in your community, you're about to feel a level of aloneness and loneliness that you never felt before. So COVID helped to amplify the importance of mental fitness. Gotcha. And it's what we've been practicing, as you know, Shamika.
Sure.
Day one.
Yeah.
Day one. We've always talked to people about negotiating three things: their work, their family, and their community.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And I definitely can attest.
Day one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've been talking a little bit about, this whole idea of health and wellness is just not one component. And the fact that your organization embodies multiple components outside of just the nutritional piece, the movement piece. You're looking at the cognitive piece. You're looking at getting to the root cause of the symptoms that you're looking at when someone walks into the room, which I think really could make anyone feel comfortable about working with you and going to the next level with their health. And yeah, it's definitely real, guys. It's so true. As intense as Mr. Darrell McQuarter is, when I tell you he truly cares, I've had multiple sessions where I've just cried on the couch. Okay. And it was more of a therapy session. It had been so mentally exhausted. I don't even want to say it was physical exhaustion. But I think looking back, a lot of it was just mental exhaustion, mental exhaustion.
We can be transparent. Look how many layers that we had to work through.
Oh God.
I really, really appreciate your courage.
Wow.
You putting your story out there as a testimony.
Yeah.
And you're really, really light about it, and you're really, really humble and modest about it. But it took years of peeling carefully, peeling back layers.
Yeah.
Until we could discover, hey, this is the real issue. I mean, some people would therapeutically look at it and say, wow, she's having a bipolar relationship with her boss. She's up, Darrell, she's down.
Yeah.
How come you don't drop her? How do you feel successful with something like this? It's because I've been in combat situations, 6 combat tours. Okay. And I know when you're close to defeating the enemy, they throw everything against you.
Oh my God.
Trust me. When you know you got the enemy on their heels,
right?
When they're throwing everything they got against you, and that is not the time to let up.
Right.
That's the time to bear down, buckle in, and move forward. And Shamika, you exuded those characteristics through over the years. I mean, everyone needs to take a break, a rest, get some oxygen. Count your bullets, count your beans, count your food. Let's assemble. Let's come back with another plan, and let's surge forward. Sure. We can't hit them from the frontal. Let's hit them from the oblique. You did all those things, and it got you to 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And check this out, 70 pounds that I know for a fact will never come back.
Never.
Come back, baby. It got Bernard Burton.
Him.
112.
Yeah.
Now his albums are all over the place.
Yeah.
He's performing in front of churches throughout the Chicagoland area.
Right.
Okay. And we've got over 600 stories like that. Mm-hmm. And we celebrated these people at South Shore Cultural Center. We didn't celebrate people that lost weight in 6 months, 3 months. That population that showed up that night were individuals who had sustained wellness for a year. So everyone that was presented that night at South Shore Cultural Center in 2019, that was a celebration of them sustaining weight loss for one whole year.
That was so awesome. I think when I was there, Bernard sang, and sometimes I'm just so in awe of when I see his before and afters. I'm like, man, and the man's legs are just
bananas.
Crazy, like crazy, just toned and cut. And I'm like, look at his freaking calf, man. That's great.
More layers. Now, Bernard had obesity. Obesity ran rampant in Bernard's family.
Sure.
Okay. He had even lost siblings from it.
Wow.
Okay. Bernard was determined to, like yourself, to say, you know what? It's not happening to me.
Yeah.
And he hasn't gained back one of those 112 or 15 pounds.
Yeah.
So I know you have to have the sustainability, you have to be steadfast, and you have to be a leader that encourages the struggle.
Yeah.
There will be no relief. Stop looking for it. Okay, because the more you gain, all right, the more you have to give. All right. And it's not over because there's someone watching you go through this process. And while you think it's just about you, trust me, it's about a plethora of other people who are watching you go through it, and they need your encouragement. And I want to applaud you, Shamika, because there are many people who immediately, once you lost your 70 pounds, they enrolled in our organization. Like,
wow.
Yes, well, I'm glad you want what she wants, but are you willing to put in the work? Do you want to put in that work? And that's the part that they'll eventually have to find out about. It's work.
Oh my God. I mean, I knew about a couple people, but I didn't know. I guess I didn't know that. But that's man, that's so awesome. That's so awesome.
Man, now you take your talent and share it with your community. So so we've talked about it. Those three things: yourself, right?
Yeah.
Your relationships, your community. And I can guarantee all three of those major facets in your life look totally different than they look when you were carrying 70 pounds.
Right. And I to that point, you know, this isn't about, oh, look at Shamika, let me show you what I've done. Because if anybody knows me for 5 minutes, you know, that's not my deal. You know what I'm saying? I like to tuck away, you know what I mean? Tuck my life away and stay where I am, you know, because I understand that life comes with discomforts. And if I want anything that's worth something, that it's going to be comfortable. Right. And so I remember you asking me, it was actually you in 2019, I think last year, you was just like, what's the one thing you want to accomplish this year? And I had already kind of started my process. But I was just like, I want my health. I don't want anything else, Darrell. I said, I don't care what happens in business. I'm not focused on that. I'm not, you know, I know people may see me, oh, what is she doing now? She in this, she in that, she blah, 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 blah. It's really, if you would really have a conversation with me, you would understand that as scattered as you think it is, it really works you know, as a master plan, a masterpiece. It's going to be a masterpiece at the end. But what I understood is that people are respecting your process. And I think sometimes we have so many finished stories and finished products that we pay attention to. And I just wanted to contribute my process to people because I was getting so many inboxes from people, Darrell, like, oh, you inspire me. Oh my God, that's so good. You look so great. And I'm like, you know, Lord, do you want me to step out on this now? And I was just like, I don't have to. Trust me. I don't have to, Lord. You know, I don't. You know, you don't have to worry about that. But I heard, do it now. Do it now. And so that started me, you know, I'm just going to show people, you know, what I'm eating. It started an Instagram page, and it really was a form of accountability, you know, and it's not really about being a vegan or whole foods, plant-based. It's about knowing, you know, what you're willing, your preferences, what you're willing to stay within in terms of your boundary at this point. But I'm telling you, once you start getting better as a person, once you start thinking elevated, you're going to want more. You're going to want to go beyond where you started. And so I just wanted people to actually see that. You know, I have, you know, kind of a pilot program right now where I have people in a private group who have utilized my services or whatever. And I just want to help people help themselves, because no one really held my hand. No one, you didn't come to my house with me and look at my refrigerator and say, oh, we're not eating that. We're not. No. And I really didn't. The reality is I didn't need that because of my background as a nutritionist. It was just doing it. It was doing it. And you said to me, and I was just like, that's a bunch of baloney. I remember like it was yesterday. You were like, when you drop this weight, Shamika, everything that you have ever or always wanted is going to come to you. And I'm getting emotional about it because I was like, that's a bunch of baloney. I don't care how, you know, I don't care how big I get, you know, nothing ever stopped me. I was always going to do what I wanted to do. You know, I got all these degrees and I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? That didn't stop me, blah, blah, blah. But when I really took inventory of that, when you're a child, you have this dream of what you wanted your life to look like. So I had to go back there. And I'm like, well, how come I didn't live out those things?
Layers.
Why didn't I live out those things? What happened? You know, I was trying to live up to, you know, kind of what my parents wanted me to be. And I wanted to really please them and make them proud of me, you know, and sometimes that diverts you from your dream or whatever. And then when you look at your life and I'm inside this particular body at a certain point, it's like, well, this is how much I can push myself in this thing. So I'm going to stay within that comfort zone because I know I can achieve there without going beyond that. So then you convince yourself, that you've done something, you know, of high accomplishment, you know, because you got the award and it's on your wall, you got the degree or whatever it is, the thing that you felt that you could achieve. But that in itself is limiting, because was that really what you wanted? What dream halted? What things stopped because you felt you couldn't do it because of some physical element, or you didn't feel like you had enough stamina, or maybe you weren't good enough, or you weren't pretty enough, or you weren't intelligent enough? What was that thing that stopped you? Because being unhealthy, and in my case, a weighted woman, an obese woman, there were a lot of things that stopped me from stepping out, you know what I'm saying, until I realized that I was worth it.
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We said there were a lot of things that stopped you, but I'd like us to be very, very specific about that.
Okay.
Because when we say there were a lot of things that hinder us, we're always thinking about things that are external. No, the things that are stopping you from moving forward are internal.
Yeah.
Wherever the head goes, and you know this is our motto, wherever the head goes, the body must follow.
Yeah.
It's a physiological truth and it's a psychological truth. So when we talked about you dropping that weight and it opening up the doors to the rest of your life, we were talking about the weight of other things that you were carrying.
Right.
We were never really talking about the physical weight you were carrying. Again, the physical weight that most people carry are a product of the internal weight that they predispose themselves to,
Sure.
mentally and emotionally. Bad relationships,
Mm-hmm.
totally being misunderstood, hiding who they really are,
Right.
hiding who they are, you know, lying about who they are. And there's a difference between hiding and lying.
Oh, yeah.
One is by omission and the other is by commission.
Mm-hmm.
When you're lying about it, that's a lie by commission.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling a lie. Hiding is a lie by omission because you refuse to reveal your truth.
Yeah.
Okay. And so these things that were preventing people and predisposing them to the product of weight or obesity were internal.
Yeah.
They were internal. So what I was really saying to Shamika at that day, to you on that day, was when you let go of everyone else's expectation, when you let go of all the hurt and suffering that you've gone through and that you put others through.
Yep.
All right. Because you're not going to live a day without hurting someone.
That's right.
So you've got to forgive yourself for that.
Right.
And some people will throw themselves at your feet for you to walk all over them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look, when you can negotiate cognitively those internal pieces, then came the 70 pounds. Let me better say this. There went the 70 pounds.
There went, yeah.
And as you continue to evolve and negotiate these things with exquisite excellence and understanding, 70 more will go.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's what COVID brought and amplified.
Yeah.
COVID brought out the fact that we got some issues at home.
Yes.
When those teachers told you your kids were acting out at school, you didn't really want to believe them until them damn kids couldn't go to school. How jacked up your kids were.
Yes.
Come on now. Come
That's
on.
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm telling my story.
Right. I got you. I got you.
My son was having problems in school. I was like, he ain't had problems because I don't have no problems with him.
Right.
And I had this 10 days when I saw the issues they were having with my son in school.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Relationships. That's what happens in your community. You find out, wow, I'm in this $400,000 home, and I can't even go next door to knock on anyone's door. Wow. Not even for sugar. I can't even borrow no sugar. I mean that's so unlike community. Where you don't even know your neighbor next door. I don't care if you stay in a project or you stay in an elaborate 35, 45 square foot home.
Yeah.
You 4,500 square foot home. You don't know your neighbor. And back in my day when I was a skateboarder and I bust my head, my mother went right next door to Dr. Tiley. He patched me up. Okay. That was community. I cut everyone's grass for $7. That was community. We don't have that anymore, nor are we breeding that. We allow our children to get behind televisions, dumb boxes, PS4s, and just get stupid. Yeah. There's no more crystallized learning. There are no abstracts on the table. There's no more family dinners and discussions. So now when a person comes in here, they drive to our organization in a Jaguar and they complain about paying $99 for boot camp. I already know they got some issues. So, I mean, you're like,
good point.
How do you read this?
It's a good point. It's a good point.
You show up in a 40,000 plus car, a Range Rover, and then you're complaining about something that could increase you, and you're driving around something that decreases every day of the week.
Absolutely.
COVID's gonna exploit you. Yeah. And it did. Yeah. The playlist. The playlist. You know what I call the playlist, Shamika?
What do you call the playlist?
The people you have in your phone.
Okay.
People call it their contact list. Right. I call it your playlist.
The playlist. Okay.
You know why I call it your playlist?
Why?
When you get ready to make a play for family, business, or community, is there anyone in your phone that is aligned to you that can help you make that move in your playlist. 70% of our playlist is just about gossip. Now, for women, that is an issue. That's where your stress is coming from.
Okay.
Because every time you pick it up, you're saying, open up my dumpster and dump all that mess in me. Girl, he beat me again. Well, you need to learn how to duck. Don't call me back again about getting beat up. You know, I know I sound cold, you know, but that's the boot camp Darrell.
Right, we understand.
You got to go all the way around the bend and say, well, why do you think you accept this?
Right.
You know, nonetheless, whether you take the long way around or you take the direct approach, you shouldn't be getting beat up like that. And you shouldn't be picking up your phone to hear it.
Yeah, that's it.
Who are you? Do you have an S on your chest?
Right.
All right, so we have layers to peel back on clients like yourself, Bernard. Layers, and man, it takes years.
It does. And that's one thing that I wanted to also say. I mean, 7 years that you've seen me come in and out of the box. And we've had conversations even after the boot camps, you know, how difficult that might be, you know, as my trainer, as my fitness instructor, watching that when you see people who, you know, have such potential. I mean, I've heard this from business leaders. I hear the conversation. I've just had a conversation today, this morning, you know, you should be this person and why aren't you, you know? And I think that there's still layers to peel back, you know. For me, I'm not rushing the process, but I'm just taking it in stride and I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. It's not easy, but I'm enjoying seeing my life evolve and unfold before my own eyes.
I love your language. I love your language.
Yeah.
I am now seeing my life. Because
Yeah.
there are others that go through these transitions and know not where to credit it.
Yeah.
Like it just happened. No, you didn't just do that. And it did not just happen. But when you say things like, I am seeing myself. And let me tell you, Shamika's done everything for our organization from serving food to singing on stage. So this woman is incredibly talented, multi-talented.
Thank you.
And there has never been a day where we've said to her, we're done with you.
Right.
You know what? You have always been exceptional. And that's another layer that we had to peel back, that people, just because they don't fit social sets of physical presentation, such as weight, hair, lips, eyes, they tend to lessen their value.
Yeah.
Look, you have always been an exceptional, attractive, beautiful, resilient, strong African-American woman.
Thank you.
Have always been that. You just had to dump some trash.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really, you know, and you know what? That bag gets easier to carry out to the dumpster.
It does.
As you practice taking out the trash at the right time. So if you leave trash in your house overnight, maggots, rats, roaches, ants, parasites feed on it.
Yeah.
That's why you take the trash out.
Yeah.
At nighttime. And so what we've always asked our clients to do is to take care of themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything that you leave this presentation with today, and I know we're not close to being over, but I just think it's the right time to say it, Shamika, if I'm allowed to.
Okay.
Please, in your schedule, if you are not first, you are last.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to give me anything that you got if you're the last.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the last drop in your cup because that's spit. I don't want the last morsel in that bowl, in that plate, because it may have fallen on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
If you've turned your back and somebody might have picked it up and put it in there for you to put in tray, we don't know if that's edible or not.
Sure.
You have to put yourself first, which is why we were conducting and why we still conduct our boot camp on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're at 5 a.m., baby. Mm-hmm. Your husband ain't bothering you then. All the gangsters in the hood, they went to bed at about 3:30 to 4, and they stuck their gangster charger in the wall so that they can get recharged for the next evening.
Yeah.
There have been very few shootings at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Very few. I'm not saying I haven't been any, but
Right.
very few in a park at 5 a.m.
Right.
All right. So that's why, and we do it because that's when your basal metabolic rate is at its highest. So you increase your fat burn by 50%. So scientifically and clinically, we're trying to reduce, de-escalate all these things so that we can get to the meat of the matter and find out why you actually ended up coming to Dsweatbox or mental fitness and physical wellness.
Gotcha.
Because you can look, you've seen people that have been specimens, 32-inch waist.
Yep.
But as soon as he opens his mouth, he's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yes, you're right.
You've seen sisters with, what they call them, Coke bottle figures, but have not a bit of value to their soul.
It's true.
They would just give it all away.
Yeah.
Okay, everything. So mental fitness was not necessarily about your aesthetic presentation. Mental fitness was about your ability to cognitively negotiate yourself, to be of value to your person, to your community, to the relationship, and to the world. That's what mental fitness and physical wellness was really all about. And once you have it, you have arrived.
Yeah. In
your way of getting there, you're getting better. That's what I love about it. So it's a win-win-win. On your way to getting there, you're accomplishing something. You might find out a whole lot about your ugly. See, it may be your ugly that's predisposing you to some of these symptoms. It may have nothing to do with the rest of the world. You may just be bitter about something going on in your life that you inherited, that you need to just pass along and say, this does not need to be a family heirloom.
Right.
Let me let this thing go. Okay. That's what we eventually discover. And that's what the organization is all about. And it takes a team and a community to do it. Because a lot of times other community people will come in like Shamika, and she'll pull one of the clients aside and say, hey, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you, sister.
Right.
Well, he made me feel so bad, Shamika. Why you got to talk? He talks to everybody like that.
Everyone.
Like that. Speaks to everybody like that. And he's not minimizing you. He's not putting you down, but he is your ugly reality.
Yeah.
And until you can face him, you have not faced yourself, because he is not lying to you. He is here to press you like a Kim does clay. 3,200 degrees of heat. And if you make it out, you're the finest piece of china you've ever seen.
That is right. Thank you so much, Darrell. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna, honor your time as well. And as we kind of wrap up, I just want to know, like, who is it that you serve? I mean, are you for all people? Are you for everyone? What would you say to someone? I know as you sitting down assessing people, you may have to turn people away. I don't know, but who are you for?
I'm for those who are compassionate, who are committed to long-term health. We're not just the organization that you come in here and bump with to drop 30 pounds just for your wedding.
Yeah.
Because you will have a deep clinical session about that 30 pounds you're going to lose. You're going to walk up the altar with that to hit your husband. He deserves to have that for the next 35, 40 years. And vice versa, brothers. She deserves it too. So we talk about those things. Okay. We're for our client base ranges from 12 to 88. Honest to God.
Wow.
We just trained a young lady who qualified for the for Southern University Dancing Dolls or something like that. It's a very prestigious dance group.
Oh, wow.
That has performed with Beyonce. The young lady came in and got ripped up. We chopped her in 6 weeks. You know her, Dr. Muhammad's daughter.
Okay.
Her daughter came in here and would leave most days crying.
Wow.
Honest to God, a young lady would leave crying. All right. And we talked to her about what training is about and how if you don't make it in the Dancing Dolls, it's just because they did not want you. It wasn't that you didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
You were not the one that they were looking for.
Sure.
That's how the clinical and mental and emotional element comes into play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that you say, how does it happen, Darrell? It happens like that. While other trainers were just, yeah, we're going to give you those abs and we're going to do this and you're going to go there and you're going to get them. No, we're here for 12-year-old. And trust me, the 12-year-old is coming with a parent.
Right.
We don't do 12-year-olds alone. The
Okay.
12-year-old to the 88-year-old. A very prestigious researcher of multiple sclerosis at the University of Chicago. I train her an hour and a half after we're done here.
Oh, awesome.
Leading researcher of multiple sclerosis.
Wow.
And her physiological age is only 50.
Oh my gosh.
88.
I think I've met her.
Doctor, yeah, I'm not going to say her name because you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, please don't. Yeah.
So that's the type of people we work with.
Sure.
Ethnicities, race, or class. Good. We only want people who are committed to self. And we're an organization who will give you your money back. Okay.
Yes, I can attest to that. I can attest to that. Yeah.
We'll stay connected. We'll stay connected.
Right.
We're not going to take your money.
Yeah. And so speaking of connection, how can we get connected to Darrell R. McQuarter?
On social media, on Facebook, we're at Dsweatbox. Okay. Or you can also seek me out at Darrell R.McQuarter. Okay. And on Instagram, we're at THE Sweatbox, the Sweatbox. Our phone number is 312-953-8487. Okay. Our locations are outdoors on 39th and Oakwood or Cottage Grove. We're right there at the football field at 5 a.m. Okay. Or hit us by email at dsweatbox@gmail.com.
Okay.
Nonetheless, we're here for you.
Thank you so much. And I think we've done pretty good with our time today. I know that you have something going on after this, as I do as well. Thank you everyone for catching the live, if you caught us live and also on the replay. And because you actually saw this talk today with Darrell R. McQuarter of Dsweatbox, you will get a 10% discount on any of his fitness packages that he has already provided. You just need to let him know what the discount code is, which is EATLIFE10, and you'll get a 10% discount. So we've already kind of worked that out. I just salute you, Darrell. You know, you're my guy. These knees. And eventually I'll be coming back into PT, but I'm going to start the outdoor. I was doing the virtual piece that was so great in this COVID situation.
Out of the virtual.
You said come outside, gal.
Now it's time to come outside. Quit playing.
I'm gonna come outside.
5 a.m.
Okay. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. We actually are going to be revisiting Mr. Christopher Aaron. He's going to come back and talk to us about August, which is 31 days of all raw fruits and vegetables. I want to know who's up for the challenge, but he asked me and he said, you know, can I come back and just talk about that so people kind of know what it looks like, and you know, and just kind of done turn you off after just hearing about raw fruits and vegetables. But listen, your girl is going to be doing it. And if you, okay. Well, come on in. So he's going to come back and give us information about that. You are welcome to come, and all of you are welcome to come and listen to that and get information to see whether or not you want to take on the challenge with us for August. So having said that, you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Have a great one.